Hello, beauties. So I just realized that I never did the voiceover for this video and never uploaded it. So here it is, a whole month and a half later, our trip to Branson, Missouri. So Andy and I flew into Oklahoma City where we met up with my parents who were already there. They had a business trip the week before. So some of you know that I was taking medication that was making me sick, very nauseous. So the whole plane and this road right here did not help at all. So there were a lot of turns, a lot of curves, and I just had to close my eyes and try to fall asleep during the ride because I was sick the whole time. So, fun fact about me is that since I was little, I've always had motion sickness. So, I would always get car sick, seasick, you name it, I was getting sick. So, going up and around this mountain was not helping. But it was so pretty to see the different leaves, the different colors on the leaves. If you're from the valley or if you're from Texas, you know that leaves just go from green to brown. We don't have these reds and oranges. So I was trying to enjoy the scenery as much as I could. I did speed up the video for this part just so that we can see all the different colors on the leaves. But so don't think my dad was driving this fast because this isn't a roller coaster. I would definitely get sick here. So we stayed at a resort there in Branson, Missouri. When we got there, they had like a little photo op set up. So the next few pictures are pictures that we took outside of the resort. There are my parents. They had like a little pumpkin patch theme going on. There's me and Andy. I actually don't think this was the first day that we got there, but this is the resort that we stayed in. Andy thought he was on MTV Cribs and said, "Welcome to my crib." So let me just show you around for a little bit. I couldn't find the door. So of course the little washroom was the first thing we saw. So the right door, oh, there's my dad. So the right door is where we stayed. We had already put down some of our things. So as soon as you walk in, there's a little table. There's a TV to the left, a little the bed, a sofa. That was a sofa bed actually. A little kitchen. Not that I wanted to do some cooking, but we did make some popcorn. They left us a bag of popcorn there. And it was fully equipped, so if we wanted to bring groceries, things like that, we could cook. Here is the restroom. Hey, look, that's me. And there's the tub. And then the door on the left when we walked in led to where my parents stayed. They had a full kitchen with the life-size stove and a big refrigerator. Ours was a little refrigerator and just a flat surface, I don't know. So here is their kitchen, which also we didn't really use. There is their dining table, their living room. One of these sofas was also a sofa bed as well. Their TV, or one of the TVs. So let's go into the master bedroom. So let's start here in the restroom. I had to check to make sure there was nobody in here before I started recording. So they had a handicap shower. I think because we requested like the first floor, and then it had this little jacuzzi thing, which we didn't even know how to turn on. It was a learning experience. And there's stories to tell, but they're not of me, so I cannot tell you. So this is the bed, the bedroom, the TV. Over here to the side was their closet, but also the exit door to the balcony, which is childproof. I couldn't get it open. There we go. So this was their little balcony, and then just a quick view of the resort. I was waiting for those people to pass by so that I wouldn't record them, but there are the other rooms or the other buildings. Okay, now let's go and check out the city. So this is where we were at, Branson, Missouri, and this is their what we call it? Not their downtown, but their where all the attractions are. Like they're all on this one strip. So we had the Titanic Museum, which I'll show you in more details later because we did go in. We were stopped at a light. And we were pointing things out there. So they had Clay Cooper, Ozark Land. There was the fly ride, the waffle and pancake house, which we never got to go into. This Hollywood. It was the wax museum. And then some House of Chaos thing. I don't know what that was. But there was little chapels, little theaters. So this Miracle of Christmas to the left hand side is the reason I wanted to come to Branson. But we didn't get to go. The week that we were there, they actually didn't have any showings. So it is a theater, like a Broadway kind of thing. And they had just packed up a few days before and were setting up a few days after we left. So this is, I'm not sure what that house was, but it looked busted. And then the boardwalk with the giant octopus and this little water fountain thing. And then some more attractions and restaurants, things like that. So this is another thing that I wanted to do. It was a dinner and a murder mystery show, but nobody else wanted to do it, so we didn't. So we were able to go into the Titanic Museum. This is what it looks like on the outside from the parking lot. And then let's get a little closer. Here is the entrance. So the entrance is through the iceberg. So let's go in here. This is where we got our tickets. Here is the boarding pass. They gave each one of us one of these boarding passes, which in the front it had some information about the Titanic, when it departed, when it went under, things like that. And then on this other side, each one had a different passenger name. So it shows you who the passenger was, what class they were in, their age, where they were from, and a little story about them. Why they were on the Titanic, what they wanted to do, things like that. And then on the bottom, it says there, like the last sentence is, would I make it, and would my sister Ida make it too? So they had this room called the memorial room towards the end of the museum, and it had every passenger listed by class and then alphabetically ordered, and it would show you there if they actually survived on the Titanic or if they lost their life, whether in the water or in the, if they were frozen in the water or if they were in the lifeboat and the lifeboat just didn't make it, things like that. So it was really neat. We actually missed the memorial room. We saw it, but it never dawned to us to look for our names or our passenger names. But they did tell us at the end of the museum if we had survived or not. The passengers that me, my mom, and my dad had did not survive. The only one that survived was Andy's passenger. So this is just some pictures that we took inside the museum. Of course, because it's a museum, we were limited on where we could take pictures. Video was not allowed. So this is my parents by the elevator. This is Andy by the grand piano. This was the music room. This was dedicated to the musicians that were on board. This is Andy steering the boat. These are my parents, of course. And then me. And one of the ladies was nice enough to take this picture of us together so that we could have this. And then this is Andy thinking that this is an earpod, trying to talk on the phone. My dad on one of the lifeboats reading some information there. And this is my favorite part. Like, these stairs were so beautiful and so nicely decorated. Of course, you know that Christmas is my favorite time of the year. So anything with Christmas decorations, but these stairs, I loved them. So the following day, we did go on the Branson duck tours. This is us getting on the I don't know if to call it a car or a boat, but this duck tour. This is us getting in, and here we are already seated, doing a little video.
All right, if you guys look over to your right,
so of course we had like a little tour guide. She'll come out in a minute, but she was giving us information like the history of Branson, which was really interesting. And I I believe she said on the other side of those trees was Arkansas. So she gave us a little history about that as well. She said quite a few jokes, some good, some bad, you know. But they were the whole ride in itself was very entertaining, very educational. This was the scenic railway, and she said that they decorate it as the Polar Express, and they take you on a train to sightsee. We didn't get to do that either because it was closed. So here we are driving along the lake, and I don't remember the name of the lake at this moment, but I know it does come out in the video. So here we stopped. They checked the weather. They did they took a lot of precautions, because if you're not too familiar with it, these duck rides have been around for a while, but a few years ago they had an accident where there was a storm. They went out into the water anyways, and lives were lost, unfortunately. So they were taking their precautions at this time. So now it's time to go into the water. And of course, if you know me, I was panicking this whole time. I had never prayed as much as I did in my life. But we are now in the lake. So this duck tour goes from a car, or from like a little bus thing, to a boat. And we were in the water here, and I was scared. So here, of course, she did also give us historical information about the lake, about the type of fish that are in the lake, about where we could rent fishing poles, or even boats, things like that. So on this lake itself, I don't know if it's in the video, but there is a Bass Pro Shop also. I believe it does come out, but this is just like the around the lake here. We were in the water for a hot minute, just floating away. So eventually we ended up under that bridge. So there is the water. Here we're closer to the bridge. We did go under, as I mentioned. And then we did see some bald eagles. I believe there were like 5 that we saw in total. There was 3 of them flying together, and then I think there was like 2 other ones that were on the trees. So here we're still floating in that lake. And there was a hotel, a little water fountain thing also. So here it was time to get back on land. This is where I felt more relief. So this is us on the little ramp getting out of the water. Okay, here we go. So yeah, we were just in that lake. That's crazy, right? The water was so peaceful though. We were safe.
Do you guys know what side of the duck has the most feathers? It's actually the outside. Yeah, the outside. What do you call a duck that robs banks?
To where we started. So here's the name of the lake. Here it is, Lake Tanyacomo.
Yeah, he's a safe quacker. Oh goodness, alright, I'm done. So this ground around in it, it's limestone. It's limestone, you're right. Alright, let me explain to you why my jokes are so bad. I have a reason. It's because my dad's the other tour guide. So it's me and my dad, we're the 2 tour guides.
And then so our guide took a picture of us, and then I found this in my photo gallery. This is the tour guide. We were actually her last tour, but we were tired, so we decided to sit down on this little chair here. So this is Andy trying to get down. But yeah, we were the last tour for our tour guide. She is going to start her own business and finish college, so it was a little bittersweet for her that we were the last group that she actually guided. So here's me in that little chair. So here's that miracle of Christmas again. See, it's live on stage November through December, but we missed it by a couple of days. But we still went over to where the theater was. They had a huge Christmas tree out in the front. Look at how tiny we look. And then this is the whole theater. But if you have a chance when you go to Branson, you have to go to Sight and Sound. Dolly Parton Stampede is also another must when you go over to Branson, Missouri. It is a dinner and a show. I 100% recommend it. So this is where, so that was the tickets that I just showed you. This is the actual building. See, Dolly Parton Stampede. Look at how big it is. And I just love that we did this in the Christmas time because everything is decorated so beautifully. So we got to kind of meet some of the cast. And here they are, the horses. So also, if you know me, you know I am afraid of everything, and horses is on that list as well. I mean, I love watching them. They look so pretty. But once I am up close to one, I am scared. I really like this next one though. It was like a spotted brown with white. It reminded me like a cookies and cream kind of deal there. This one was my favorite. Just kidding, it's empty. This one was so pretty too. It was like a heather gray, like a soft gray. It was so nice. And this is a white one. And there's a crew cleaning up. This one though, right here, it was like a golden brown color. It was so pretty. Of course I didn't want to get too close to him, but so this is us inside. Just a quick photo that we took. So once you walk in, there's this souvenir shop, and there's like a little bar. You can get appetizers. They had this little comedy show going on right here. And then it was finally time to go in. So this is the arena. It was so beautiful. Again, I love looking at Christmas decorations, things like that, and they did a great job. It was so nice. So these people in the little costumes, in the elf costumes, were our waiters and waitresses. They did also a very good job in taking care of us. So I am going to show you just small clips of what the show was. Of course, I didn't want to record the whole thing because you guys have to go experience it yourselves. So the whole thing is like Dolly Parton saying a story of her experience of Christmas, and then little scenes in between. But everything was so pretty. And this is what they gave us for dinner. That soup dough. Oh my god, it was so good. So the biscuit at this time was gone, and the chicken, I had already started eating it before I realized, hey, I haven't recorded this. So this is what it was a dinner and a show. So this is what they served us, like a whole little chicken, a corn, a little piece of pork loin, I think it was, a potato, a soup, I got iced tea, and the biscuit, of course, which was gone. At the end, they did also give us an apple turnover. That one didn't make it to the video, but it was all so delicious. That soup, though, I want some more. It was so good. And then, of course, in every show that we saw, they did like a Christmas, like the true meaning of Christmas, and then plus, of course, like the fun side of Christmas, the Santa Claus, things like that. So here we were visited by Santa, and then we went back to the resort and played a little bit of miniature golf. This was my mom's first time playing miniature golf. She did pretty good. The leaves
When you hit it too hard
on the course made it a little funner because the ball would get stuck on the leaves. So we had a good time. This, of course, wasn't my first time playing miniature golf, but that didn't help at all because look at this. I totally missed. But we had a lot of fun, and this was like a giant chess game. We didn't get to play this because I don't really know how to play, but this was Andy on the lake by the resort. So we did also go to this Ralph Foster Museum. It's inside a college, the College of the Ozark, and the college itself has a like great background story to it. So all of the students get like free tuition. They do have to work at the school. I think it's like 10 hours a week, something like that. But some work at the museum, some work at like the library, things like that. So it was really cool. So that Ralph Foster Museum was more for Andy. It had like a lot of pistols, a lot of guns, the Wild Bill, Wyatt Earp, Bon Jovi was there, those stuffed animals, things like that. So he really enjoyed it. And of course, that first picture was us in the Beverly Hillbillies car. I don't remember that show, but Andy does, and it was important that we included something that he wanted to do in that trip as well. So that's where he decided he wanted to go. After that, we did go to the Hughes Brothers Christmas. Here is the ticket to it. So see, it was November 1st and I'm just making this video. Sorry guys. Okay, so this is us outside. Hugh's music show. So it was a lot of singing and dancing while they gave like a little storyline in between. We weren't allowed to record in there, so you'll see just a little bit of the pictures because pictures weren't really allowed either, but you know, I had to sneak some in. And this was the outside. And so this right here is the auditorium. Before it started, they were showing clips of like their DVDs. So these here are the Hughes brothers. There's 4, and then everybody in the production, everybody in the show is their family, like their kids, kids, their wives, their in-laws, things like that. So we did also take a little oldies picture. I don't remember what Andy said these were. I think gangsters. I don't know, but we took a picture. So we have this, we printed out this picture and I have it hanging on the wall. But here are just a couple of the others, me and my mom. And then them shooting and us being scared. So there's me and Andy. And then I love this picture. These are the 2 most important men in my life. And then, of course, it was time to go. So this is us at the airport. Of course, I got a Starbucks, you know. And I believe this one was the Oklahoma City airport. We had to drive back from Branson to Oklahoma City. And then we had a layover in Houston, which is, I believe, what this is. And then, of course, we came home to Harlingen. So that is it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, beauties.